Corin, where are my cookies? They were here a minute ago. They were a gift from Melissa.
Oh, they were a gift?
What's wrong? Why are you making that face?
Before you get mad at me, I just want you to know they were pretty gross.
How do you know? You ate them?
You should be thanking me. I did you a favor. Oh, look! Did you see that over there? Something's glowing.
You really think I'm going to fall for that? Hey, wait up!
Look, there! Fireflies!
Seriously, Rowan? Stop trying to change... Did you say fireflies? It's so pretty. Do you remember that one time Mother spotted fireflies? I was so excited I turned around too quickly and twisted my ankle.
I do remember. I wanted to carry you home, but Mother wouldn't let me. I just wanted to be a hero. But she was right. I probably would have dropped you.
I doubt you could even carry me now.
Yeah, I could. But with me protecting you, you'll never get hurt again.
I don't know about that, but you are a lot stronger than you used to be. It's hard to believe you were once a little boy aimlessly swinging a wooden sword.
Oh, a compliment. Thanks, sis. You know, you're not so bad on the battlefield yourself. You've kept me in line more than once. I don't have the head for battle plans.
Lucky you. You don't have to think about being responsible for so many lives. I'm always second-guessing myself, wondering which allies have let down.
I worry about that stuff too. I'm not completely oblivious. But you're way stronger than you think you are. And this is coming from me. You know I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true.
Of course. I'm really lucky to have you for a brother, Rowan.
Thanks. All this talk is making me hungry.
Me too. I'd offer you some cookies, but someone already ate them.
We're back to this again? I was hoping you forgot all about it.
Not a chance. I think I deserve an apology, don't you?
Sure. Let me just... Rowan! Was that Lissa? I'd better go.
That won't work this time, Rowan. Get back here!
Lianna, is something wrong?
Corin! No, it's nothing.
Really? Because it didn't sound like nothing.
I guess I'm just a little preoccupied.
What's on your mind?
It's no big deal. It's just, I feel like my brother and I are so inexperienced. You're all fighting this war for our kingdom, and we're barely helping.
How can you say that? You two are clearly giving this your all.
We are, but our abilities pale in comparison to everyone else's.
Of course you feel like underachievers. Look who's on your team. Oh, that came out wrong, didn't it? I just mean, don't compare yourself to others. Because the strength of your allies is your strength too.
You think? I know I should be grateful that you all are here in the first place. I just can't help but wonder what would have happened if you weren't.
Let me ask you this. Do you think our being sent here was simply coincidence?
What do you mean?
Every decision you've made, every action you've taken has led to this very moment. I don't think the fact that we're fighting together is a coincidence at all. Your will is what set our fates in motion. We're here because of you.
You really believe that, Corin?
Of course I do. There is a drawback, however. Our time together will, unfortunately, be brief.
I know.
I really wish we could be here to see how everything turns out in your kingdom. But only you and your brother can carve out its future. I know deep in my heart that you will succeed. You're getting stronger every day. Your kingdom will thrive under your leadership.
Thank you, Corin. I'll do my best.
I feel so silly talking to you like this. I'm hardly in a position to give advice. There's a lot I could learn from you and your brother.
What could you possibly have to learn from us?
Don't laugh. You may not always get along, but you have each other's respect. I hope that in the future, Nor and Hoshido can coexist in the same way.
I'm sure you'll make it happen. Everyone in your families loves you so much.
Oh, I know. They won't let me forget it. But I appreciate your confidence in me.
And yours in me.
Lianna, is something wrong?
Corin! No, it's nothing.
Really? Because it didn't sound like nothing.
I Guess I'm just a little preoccupied.
What's on your mind?
It's no big deal. It's just, I feel like my brother and I are so inexperienced. You're all fighting this war for our kingdom, and we're barely helping.
How can you say that? You two are clearly giving this your all.
We are, but our abilities pale in comparison to everyone else's.
Of course you feel like underachievers. Look who's on your team. That came out wrong, didn't it? I just mean, don't compare yourself to others. Because the strength of your allies is your strength too.
You think? I know I should be grateful that you all are here in the first place. I just can't help but wonder what would have happened if you weren't.
Let me ask you this. Do you think our being sent here was simply coincidence?
What do you mean?
Every decision you've made, every action you've taken, has led to this very moment. I don't think the fact that we're fighting together is a coincidence at all. Your will is what set our fates in motion. We're here because of you.
You really believe that, Corin?
Of course I do. There is a drawback, however. Our time together will, unfortunately, be brief.
I know.
I really wish we could be here to see how everything turns out in your kingdom. But only you and your brother can carve out its future. I know deep in my heart that you will succeed. You're getting stronger every day. Your kingdom will thrive under your leadership.
Thank you, Corin. I'll do my best.
I feel so silly talking to you like this. I'm hardly in a position to give advice. There's a lot I could learn from you and your brother.
What could you possibly have to learn from us?
Don't laugh. You may not always get along, but you have each other's respect. I hope that in the future Nora and Hoshido can coexist in the same way.
I'm sure you'll make it happen. Everyone in your families loves you so much.
Oh, I know. They won't let me forget it, but I appreciate your confidence in me.
And yours in me. Wow, Ryoma, you know so much about the history of Hoshido.
Oh, I went off on a tangent there, didn't I? What were we talking about again?
You had a question for me.
Oh, yes. I've sensed that you're quite hesitant to take the throne. Why is that?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I just don't think I'd be very good at it.
Is that so? I can't imagine how you came to that conclusion.
Look at me. I don't have the personality of a queen, let alone the natural abilities. My brother, on the other hand, is a force of nature. He would make a great king.
I see. As a prince of Hoshido, I've had similar concerns. Like you, I believe that a ruler must be an effective leader.
Exactly. So you agree that my brother...
Not necessarily. I also believe that there is more than one way to lead. Some rulers naturally inspire their people. Others must convince those they lead.
Okay.
You and your brother would both make good, yet very different leaders. In an ideal world, you could share the crown, but that's impossible.
Actually, it wouldn't be the first time something like that happened in Atolis.
Interesting. Huh. That sounds like the perfect solution for you two. Such an arrangement would be out of the question in Hoshido or Nor.
It hasn't happened in Gristone either. It's definitely not typical. But even if my brother and I did share the throne, we'd always be fighting.
Or perhaps you would bring out the best in each other. I've noticed that you're very cerebral, constantly analyzing every situation. And your brother, well, he's always ready for action, isn't he?
That's putting it lightly.
Don't you see? He would push you to act, and you would push him to think. In any case, I hope you consider it. But first, we must take back the kingdom.
Okay, I'll think about it. I'd be a fool to ignore your advice.
A shared throne. I never thought it was possible. Maybe I've been too bound by tradition to consider what's best for my kingdom. What could we achieve if we worked with our opposition rather than against them?
Sounds like you should be taking your own advice. You're going to be a wonderful king, Ryoma. I can already tell.
Thank you. I know you and your brother will lead your kingdom down a great path. People like us hold not only our future, but the future of many in our hands.
We can't let them down. Lianna, you're wounded. Please, let me take a look at your leg. No, it's nothing. I fought with injuries much worse than this. Are you sure? It doesn't look like nothing to me. Truly, I'm fine. Look at you, you're in pain. Fuss all you like, but I'm going to treat you. If you insist. I'm sorry to be so much trouble. Yes. This should do the trick. See? There was no need to hide anything. Thank you. I didn't want to be a bother, that's all. A bother? Why would you think that? Did you see me out there today? Fighting alongside everyone else? I was useless. The only thing I managed to achieve was this injury. And so you were just going to sit here and suffer through it? You can't do that. I know. I'm sorry, Sakura. I never meant to make you worry. I just didn't want to be even more of a burden on everyone, and... But you aren't a burden at all. Nobody thinks so. Everyone's really impressed by how you communicate out on the battlefield. And people around here aren't known for their generous praise. So chin up. Thank you, Sakura. You've made me feel a whole lot better. Really? I'm glad to hear it. I don't know what I, or any of us for that matter, would do without you. It's reassuring to know that you're out there with us, ready to heal our wounds. You're so sweet. I hope this means you won't be hiding any more injuries. At least, not from me. I know a thing or two about pretending to be brave. What do you mean? I understand why you'd want to hide your wounds from the others. You do? Of course. I'm surrounded by all this strength and sense of duty. I'm always worried that I won't be able to keep up. Just like you. Sakura, you aren't just saying this to make me feel better, are you? No. I just thought you should know we have more in common than you think. Please, I wish I were as kind as you, or as thoughtful. Talking to you always puts me at ease. I'm sure everyone else feels the same. You're making me blush. But thank you for your kind words. Now you're making me feel better. Then I guess it was a good thing that we had this chance to talk. Maybe it was fortunate I tripped over that rock.
Royal twins. That's quite unusual, isn't it?
You think so? I guess I thought big royal families like yours were more of an oddity.
Yes, there are a lot of us, but we all have different mothers, you know. It's actually a pretty common practice for royal families in my world.
Ah, I see. In Atolis and Gristone, the king or queen can have only one spouse.
Of course, that's how it is in Nor, too.
Are you saying your mother was the king's... mistress?
Don't be so shocked. All our mothers were. Well, except for Xander's.
How do all those mothers live together and still get along?
Get along? How optimistic of you. In Nor, even the children of mistresses have a claim to the throne. So our mothers have always competed for the king's affection.
You mean it's sibling against sibling, all to see who will inherit the throne?
At times it is. I'm sure Atolis has seen some similar conflict. Still, you are the older sibling. I'd assume the throne is yours to take.
It's complicated. As the older sister, I do have a bit of an advantage. However, in Atolis, male heirs can be given preference anyway. I'd be relieved to see my brother become king, but he's... hesitant.
I've noticed that you two are always encouraging the other to take the throne. To be honest, I'm quite jealous of your situation.
But you and your siblings get along so well. My brother and I are constantly biting each other's head off.
It doesn't seem that way to me. Maybe you fight because you're willing to be honest with each other.
Maybe. Well, I'm jealous too. I've always wanted an older brother or sister.
You can have Xander if you want. I'm just kidding. We all like one another, you know, in our own special ways.
How could you not? You're all so wonderful. Even you, Leo. That's why I just can't believe it when you say you're all in competition.
Things weren't always so great between the children of the King of Nor. You could learn a thing or two about palace intrigue just from the stories. But I'll spare you that. It really doesn't seem like something you'd need here.
Are you trying to protect me? So there is a tiny speck of kindness and warmth under that cold exterior.
Is that how you see me? Actually, I'll take that as a compliment. I hope we have another chance to talk again soon, Lianna. I'd like to hear more about Aetolis and your cooperative ways.
Of course. I'm sure there's a lot we can learn from each other. There you are, Crom. I wanted to thank you for helping me out earlier. I shouldn't have gone off like that all by myself. Thank goodness you were there.
Of course. I'm just happy you're safe.
It seems like every time we meet, you're saving my life. Thank you is starting to sound like an understatement.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. Even I need to be saved now and then. In any case, I'm sure you would do the same for me.
Obviously, but you're so quick to action. I don't know if I have rapid-fire instincts like that. Usually I just overthink things until it's too late to do anything at all. I guess it's something I have to work on.
Are you so sure that's a negative quality?
I'll never be able to save anyone if I'm always stuck in my head. I see how you act without hesitation, how you throw yourself into danger. It's amazing. I could never do that.
I think you're wrong, but I'd caution you against using me as an example. I'm often criticized for the same qualities you now praise. Maybe that instinctive approach works when there's an immediate danger, but it's certainly no way to act when there are greater things at stake.
I guess.
Sometimes I wish I had the ability, the impulse to stop and think things through. The point is, we all have our strengths and weaknesses.
You know, your behavior is a little reckless, Crom.
Well now, is that any way to thank me for my kind words?
You're the one who started talking about your weaknesses. But I see your point. You're the guy who takes care of problems as they pop up, and I focus on what's looming ahead. Is that what you meant?
It is. When we combine our strengths is when we are most successful.
Well, I'll do whatever I can to keep our team safe. You're all so wonderful.
It is an incredible army we've put together here.
Especially since we have you. I'm so grateful that you're on our side. I'll never forget what you've done for us.
It has been an honor. Even if I am able to return to my world, you will always hold a place in my heart.
I guess we better get out there, right? I'll do my best to keep you safe.
And I you.
Great job out there. Are you unharmed? Yes, I'm fine. What about you?
I'm all right. I'm on my Pegasus for most of the battle, so I don't tire so easily. Huh? What is it?
Nothing. I was just thinking that you're pretty easy to talk to for a princess.
Do I not seem very princessly? Well, my kingdom is a small one and fairly young.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. You're just friendlier than I thought you'd be. But you mentioned your kingdom. What's it like?
I'm glad you're interested. My kingdom is called Talis. It's one of 7 kingdoms, and it's on an island east of the Archanean continent.
7 kingdoms? And Marth was a prince of Altea?
That's right. Altea was a prosperous kingdom and an ally to Talis. Thanks to that alliance, Marth had a place to escape to when he needed it.
Escape? Why? Did something happen to Altea?
It was conquered in a devastating war. We offered Marth shelter for a time, but in the end, it was he who protected us. Talus was attacked by pirates, and Marth led his knights of Altea to fight back. That is why I offered my support when he raised troops and journeyed out.
Wow. You guys have been through a lot together, haven't you? I'm kind of jealous. My adventuring partner has always just been my brother.
But you two help each other all the time, the way all good siblings would.
But it's totally different from what you two have. We're always fighting. My brother isn't nearly as perceptive as Marth.
Perhaps you only see it that way because your bond allows for complete honesty. In truth, Marth and I have not yet reached that kind of bond.
Oh, so you haven't told Marth how you really feel about him?
I have not. I guess I thought feeling so strong would be obvious.
You'd think, but what would it hurt to be completely honest with him? If you think it works for my brother and me, it should work for you two, right?
Yes, I think you're right. I just need to act honestly. Thank you for the advice. What are you laughing about now?
I'm just surprised, I guess. I've never really had someone to talk to like this.
In that case, can I come to you for advice again?
Of course. I'd be happy to talk about whatever you want. Lynn, is it true that you came to this world all by yourself? You must have been very lonely before you met up with us.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. I'm used to being alone. That's how I live back on the plains.
Back on the plains? But I thought you were from a noble family.
Only technically. My mother was from a noble family, but not my father. He was the son of a Lorca chieftain, a nomad. My parents eloped in secret, and I was raised as a simple plains dweller.
Did you have any idea who you were? Or who your mother was?
No, my parents were killed by a group of bandits before they could tell me. After that, the Lorca scattered. And well, I just lived on my own.
How terrible. I'm sorry for bringing all this up.
It's okay. It happened a long time ago.
But I think it explains a lot.
You mean why I don't act like an average member of the noble class?
Oh no, that's not what I meant at all. It explains your strength, your compassion. You're so, I don't know, true to yourself. Me? I'm always worried about acting like a proper princess or big sister. So I'm constantly second-guessing myself and making mistakes.
I understand. I was a bit bewildered to learn about my family's history. Suddenly, I was part of the nobility. It made me question everything.
You were worried about the same things as me?
I was, at first. Then, on my travels, I met some very dear friends. A reliable tactician, an interesting pair of knights, and a Pegasus knight as well. They called themselves Lindis's Legion. I realized that those friendships defined me more than any noble bloodline.
Interesting. It's funny. Just like you have your friends from the Legion, I have all of you. So maybe I should worry less about being a princess and more about being a friend.
Agreed. Things like social status shouldn't matter when among friends. We risk our lives for each other, after all.
That's true. I guess I've been pretty foolish all this time.
Not at all. In fact, you're one of the most genuine people I know. You're also one of the biggest worriers I know. And I love you for that.
Thank you, Lynn. Well, I'll try not to worry quite so much about all this.
Good. You shouldn't. But if you do, you'll still have my friendship.